There's a demand for black stories to be told, and not just black stories of fucking drug dealers and slaves, right? We want something fucking different. Yes, unfortunately, that's probably going to come with some that are written and directed by white people. But if we can get more black leads into films and telling stories about us in more positive lights, that's at least an improvement. And for that to be centered on the performance of said movie that is directed and written by a white man is insane. This conversation, matter of fact, we kind of started to have this conversation on Pantheon, I think. Chillmonger mentioned You, Me, and Tuscany. And I was trying to ask if this was really a black movie. The reason I was trying to ask that is because I'm pretty sure it's written by white people. It's directed by white people. Like, the background of it is in Italy. Mm-hmm. However, the part that I didn't think about, and the part that's coming out now, there might have been some other writer that was writing a rom-com or some sort, looking to get it greenlit. And the studio was kind of waiting to see how You, Me, and Tuscany performed, to see if that's a viable option, to see if black audiences will eat that shit up.
Who the fuck made You, Me, and Tuscany?
Let's figure it out.
Who the fuck made You, Me, and Tuscany that their work ends up being the litmus test?
Now, I don't know if it was the same movie studio. I think it was just somebody to try to see, like, okay, let's see how that does before we invest our money into it.
Man, now, if you was like, if Christopher Nolan decided he wanted to make a black rom-com, and they was like, all right, let's see how this shit go, then you know, we might get behind it as a studio. That make a little bit more sense, because then I guess you looking at an industry leader and trying to follow their wave. But like, who is this person?
Okay, I keep forgetting. It's a Will Packer movie. But Universal, produced by Will Packer, screenplay by Ryan Engel. That sounds like a white name. I'm going to go with that's a white person. That is definitely a white person.
The only other Engel I know is Joe Engel, and he definitely white.
This is definitely a white man.
Yeah, so a white guy telling a story about black people, and whether or not it makes money determines whether or not black people get to make stories about black people.
And the director is...
Interesting.
The director is a white woman.
Nice.
The background is Italy.
I get it as a concept, right? Like, if whether or not this concept is going to be successful enough to produce at mass, it there's a bit of dissonance, though, when you go into it a little bit, like literally surface level. Who's making it? Who's shooting it? Before you be like, all right, well. But I mean, I guess if you're gonna let white directors and producers make the movie anyways, then I mean, it's Will Packer. But if you're gonna let white directors and writers make the movie anyways,
yes. But I guess the problem here is that there's obviously, we talk about it all the fucking time, there's a demand for black stories to be told, and not just black stories of fucking drug dealers and slaves, right? We want something fucking different. And so, yes, unfortunately, that's probably going to come with some that are written and directed by white people. But if we can get more black leads into films and telling stories about us in more positive lights, that's at least an improvement. And for that to be centered on the performance of said movie that is directed and written by a white man is insane. So now we got to go out here and support You, Me, and Tuscany,
and not a, again, my first example was Christopher Nolan, like not an undeniable white man, like, not Martin Scorsese,
right?
Some guy named Ingalls,
some
guy. So
that directed
all that responsibility we couldn't put on Ryan Coogler's shoulders. Here, come over here, Ingalls. Yeah, let's put it on your back.
I don't know that her name is Kat Coiro. I don't know any other movie that she's actually directed.
Oh, great. I'm sure it's going to go well, and they'll make a bunch of other black rom-coms.
Oh, she directed Marry Me, starring Jennifer Lopez, Owen Wilson, and Maluma. That was her last at bat. So, yeah, no, I'm not... Oh, and she produced and directed a pilot and multiple episodes of the television series Matlock, Florida Girls, and She-Hulk.
Of course.
So there you go. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how Yumi and Tuscany goes. I'm, I guess, effectively rooting for it now because I want to see more stories for us.
Hope it goes well.